Welcome everybody! Souldin and the Grin brothers here, and it's time for an emergency tea time. Why is it an emergency tea time? Well, it's because a person whose name rhymes with Nile, like the River Nile, forgot to put the right video on the external hard drive, and now he's gone off on an expedition to summon the Lord of Chairs. Yeah, let's go with that. But basically, he's not here, and the video I need for tomorrow is on his computer. So I'm having to make this video, staying up past midnight, edit it, render it, and then go to work early in the morning. And then I get no reprieve because to even upload this video, I'll have to be uploading it just before I have to pop to the dentist. So, you know, wonders here, really. But as I said, this is an emergency tea time, and it was an emergency struggling around trying to find a tea. And I should have the bag here to tell you what today's tea is. For today's emergency tea time, I have a Twinings Nutty Chocolate Flavour Assam tea. A sweet chocolatey and creamy hazelnut taste like a praline truffle. Let's see, description. Inspired by tea and chocolate, a match made in heaven. Rich Assam loose leaf tea is a perfect partner to the flavour of delicious chocolate and hazelnuts. I've let it brew for about 4 minutes because it says 3 to 5 minutes. I think 4 minutes is good enough. It's a black tea. Whoops, and I dropped the bag. Oh, I hope that isn't open. That's not a tea leaf, is it? No, it's a fleck of dirt. The dogs have gone the carpet on the sofa quite dirty, but yeah. Yeah, and I've had it brew for 4 minutes. And I've added it with a bit of milk. It's a black tea, so this is considered normal. Although, again, I have some of my green teas with milk. So, again, not really a normal tea drinker, frankly. Anyway, for today's emergency tea time, what shall I be discussing? Well, I guess the thing that has taken up my entire weekend and made a weekend where I've been suffering from toothache a little bit more bearable. The Nintendo Switch. I guess you could say this is like a Switch first impressions. My first few thoughts on the Switch, actually having played it at long last. Let's see. Getting to one heart of the matter, one aspect. You may have noticed that I haven't really done any tea times on the Nintendo Switch. And that's basically because, whilst the Nintendo Switch had yet to come out, I wanted to focus video gaming thoughts on the systems that were already out. Primarily in regards to Nintendo, keeping a focus on the Wii U and 3DS. Particularly, even more so with the Wii U, because I feel that people were kind of quick to shove it aside in favour of the Switch. And I love the Wii U. From a current point, yeah, I've had a lot more time to familiarise myself with the Wii U, so naturally, at the moment, I prefer the Wii U. And I plan to experience quite a few Wii U games and continue experiencing them. I still want to play more of Tokyo Mirage Session Sharp FE, the new Shantae game I want to eventually get for it. And Star Fox Zero, I've yet to actually get around to properly playing through that. And there's a bunch of Wii U games I want to properly dig into. 3DS has Ever Oasis coming out this year, as well as RPG Maker, which is going to consume a lot of my time. The 3DS also has my attention because of the Nanka's Pokemon Miiverse Adventure series I've been doing. But yeah, okay, putting that aside for once, I'm finally coming around to talking about the Nintendo Switch because it is out, and so it is worthy of getting the spotlight, in my opinion. Now, it's not the other systems being cast aside so thoroughly because this is the natural succession. The Nintendo Switch is here, and it's time to embrace the Nintendo Switch world. So here I'm going to share my thoughts on Nintendo Switch. Though another thing, if you want to sort of like listen to decent quality videos on leading up to the Nintendo Switch, and generally a lot of probably better thoughts than you'll get from me, I'd suggest checking out, I believe it's Alex Osborne's videos. He's done a lot of really good Switch videos, and Arlo has done a couple of pretty decent Switch videos. So those are YouTubers I'd recommend checking out if you want more the pre-Switch release days of discussion. These thoughts of mine are going to be about the current sort of thoughts on Nintendo Switch. So Nintendo Switch first impressions, I actually did a little bit of recording, basically just testing out recording with the Nintendo Switch, and so far it looks like it all works. I'll have had some of that stuff popping up now. I'll have to cut out some scenes or sort of cover up some scenes because there's like certain things I don't want to get shown off because some of it's private information that's on the Nintendo Switch. But I'm just kind of showing off the bit of the Nintendo Switch hub, my profile and all that. For the Nintendo Switch, setting up was mostly easy. The only difficult part truly came from my internet connection, which is strange. The laptop connects well enough to the internet, the Wii U connected well enough to the internet, and the 3DS connected well enough up to the internet within this very game room. The Nintendo Switch, though, one negative off the bat, is that it seems to have pretty terrible internet connection. I have to pretty much be right next to the router room or in the router room to get the Nintendo Switch's internet connectivity working. The game room, which isn't that far away from the where the router is, the Nintendo Switch just doesn't work. Maybe the walls are too thick or something, but the internet connectivity, nada. But of course, my first experience with the Nintendo Switch, as you'll be noticing from the HUD screen right now, it's a very simple, very easy sort of menu and stuff to get into. And I really like that about Nintendo's previous systems of the Wii U, the Wii, and the 3DS. I'm glad that trend for simple, easy to understand sort of HUDs and user interfaces which show you all the information you need has remained consistent. Let's see, other things to talk about. I haven't got any friends on Nintendo Switch yet because, unfortunately, there's no sort of like Miiverse transferal system. That's another tea time altogether regarding the lack of Miiverse on Nintendo Switch. But that would have made it much quicker to have my friends, who a couple of them now own Nintendo Switches. Okay, one of them has had to wait for their Amazon delivery, but a couple of them will have owned Nintendo Switches soon, and so they'll eventually sort of get the friend code. I've messaged them, ironically, through the Wii U. And, I'll have friends on the Nintendo Switch again. One feature I've been using quite a bit more than I expected. I'm imagining I'll have either gone to it or passed it by now. One feature I did not expect to use quite as much, but have been enjoying the usage of, is the screenshot feature. I probably won't be showcasing it off in a great manner outside of these sort of videos because I don't use Facebook or Twitter. Maybe I could connect it to the Grin Brothers Facebook account, but I'd like to be able to have multiple connected to it in that case. But basically, the screenshot feature, you can take a screenshot. It's immediate. It's so quick pressing the screenshot button. And then you can put in some text and such. And I've had a bit of fun with it. There's one screenshot I particularly like through my playthrough of I Am Setsuna. And, maybe that'll have popped up here. Maybe I'll have passed it by. You'll notice it's about how in a scene within the game, they kidnap my healer. That annoyed me so much. Really, really annoying because you don't get to use her for pretty much an entire chapter afterwards. Not due to the kidnapping, due to other matters, but kidnapping was part of it. Such an annoying moment. And let's see, anything else to talk about? Of course, there's plenty to talk about. There's me creation on it and character profiles. I've currently got, as you'll have noticed before, Callie is my character profile. Raffi plans, if I'm sticking with Callie for the moment, on actually having Marie for his character profile as a result. The Squid Sisters for the Grin Brothers. Yeah, and I could have used me. I have created Nanka on it. But I was a little bit unsure. I really wish there was a Kirby character avatar to be able to put up, because that would have immediately been what I'd gone for. But there isn't, so it became a debate between Ganondorf or Callie, or between making my Mii, but I decided to put that aside for later. The Mii system has a little bit more depth to it, not a huge amount, but I do like how you have to use a wider palette of colours. I've been able to make Nanka's Mii a bit more accurate, with the eyes and the hair colour. And yeah, I've had an enjoyable time in terms of how the Nintendo Switch works. Speaking more about my experiences with the system, the system itself, its controllers, the Joy-Cons, feel really nice. They're ridiculously small. The buttons are, I think they're even smaller than the 3DS buttons, they kind of feel. I'm pretty sure they're probably the same, but they work really well. The shoulder buttons, they're a bit too cramped. It gets really confusing doing LR, ZL, ZR. That could have probably done a bit bigger. The whole thing could have probably been thicker, not bigger in size. Weirdly enough, everything feels the right size, but they don't feel the right thickness, as it were. I'm a huge fan of the Joy-Con. I've yet to play a game which got to test out Hasty Rumble or the motion controls, though I really appreciate that the motion controls have been kept in from the Wii. That's the thing with the Nintendo Switch. I was a big fan of the concept of it being a handheld console hybrid. My biggest fear was that it wasn't going to be a handheld console hybrid. But then they started revealing features that I wasn't expecting them to. Such as having motion controls can carry forth onto the system from the Wii and Wii U eras. And I'm really happy about that, because it is a feature that I've come to really like when implemented properly. And, I'm glad it's there. It may prove quite handy if new Project Zero games get made for the system, which I really hope. Really, my biggest one of my biggest sort of disappointments is that there's no asymmetric gameplay, but I guess that will remain the unique quality the Wii U will always have going for it, at the very least. Okay, I'm going to take a bit of my tea first. It should be decent enough time. So this is me trying nutty chocolate flavor Assam tea with milk. That doesn't taste nearly as strong as it smells. It smells a lot nuttier than it tastes. Maybe I put too much milk in it. Maybe I should have brewed for the total 5 minutes. It's more like a nutty aftertaste, really. It's a lot weaker than it smells, which is a bit disappointing, but it's still a nice tea because it mostly just tastes like English breakfast with a slight hint of taste, which isn't bad, but could have been better. Again, maybe I'll try it black next time. Be able to just, no intrusion from the milk. Maybe it's one of those rare black teas like Spiced Imperial where it tastes better without milk. Any case, I've probably finished showing off footage from my little Nintendo Switch recording, which was a test to see about recording. Yeah, again, I already said I'm repeating myself, aren't I? Yeah, so I've enjoyed how the Nintendo Switch feels, and the Nintendo Switch is a lot of what I wanted to be. There are some things which aren't included which do disappoint me, such as, lack of asymmetric gameplay, which I really liked on the Wii U, and lack of Miiverse, and lack of Street Pass. But again, those are matters I'm going to talk for another time. It's all very quick, it's all very simple, a lot of it works really well. There has been some connectivity issues. For a while I was trying to play I Am Setsuna in handheld mode, and the start button for some reason wasn't working. It didn't work for the whole first day. I got the Nintendo Switch on Friday night, just didn't work. Sort of like midway through Saturday, I tried handheld mode again, and hey, it works perfectly fine. Kind of weird that, but otherwise I haven't really had any connectivity issues. I've had some slight annoyance with one of the games you'll have noticed I downloaded is Waku Waku 7. I've had some slight annoyances, not to what I'd say is the Switch's fault, but some of the games haven't been optimized for the Switch per se. Waku Waku 7, for instance, feels like they expect you to be playing with an arcade joystick, so it's a bit of a strange choice for a launching title sort of game, when I don't think there is any joystick compatible, arcade joystick compatible controllers for the Nintendo Switch at the moment. But that's clearly how it's meant to be played, because some of my inputs take ages to activate. It's like, dear gosh, I can't press that quick. But I've mainly been playing I Am Setsuna. I did purchase for my sole physical Nintendo Switch game, Super Bomberman R. Again, you'll have noticed on screen. Which the cartridges are tiny, absolutely tiny. Apparently they taste terrible. I'm not sure why people bother tasting them, but the inside of Super Bomberman R has this lovely retro feel, and yet the outside of it is this lovely sort of like comic-y Saturday morning cartoon sort of vibe to it. I'm really going to look forward to playing this game, but I think I'll probably save that playing with Rafi for a bit of Grin Brothers. Look forward to that. So I've primarily been playing I Am Setsuna, and I've had a lot of fun with I Am Setsuna. Admittedly, I've been finding it some moment hypocritical, but it's a turn-based RPG that I've had a tremendous time with. I like the characters. There's quite a bit of humour to it, whilst there is a ton of that somber tone to it, and that kind of almost a kind of defeated view of things. We have to sacrifice this person, and it's like it's strange how quickly everyone has accepted it and as something so normal. There's very few people thinking, should we really be doing this? Surely there's another way. And it's really somber, but there's humour to go with it. Having a good time so far. I'm planning to continue having a good time with it. I'm going longer than I probably should do with this video, so Yeah, I'm Setsuna is basically what I've played. I played a bit of Waku Waku 7, but had a bit of frustrations with it. May try it out again another time. And Super Bomberman now I'm holding off for Rafi at the moment. But yeah, the games I've played on the system and just general using the user interface work really well. And the pull aspect, absolutely great. And battery. The battery has been incredible. I've not had the Joy-Con once run out of me in the handheld mode, even with quite a high brightness setting I've got on it. It's never really warned me that I'm running out of time. Then again, apparently the time for that is like, what, 2 to 6 hours? And it's like, I don't think I play that many games for 3 hours straight. There's very few I could do for that long. I'm not like Rafi, who can play games for like 8-hour sittings. I need breaks. But yeah, those are basically just my general first impressions of Nintendo Switch. I really like it. There has been frustrations. The internet connectivity is absolutely terrible. And I am disappointed about certain features that have not carried over from its predecessors that I've liked. But there are certain features that I'm really happy have carried over. And I can't wait for games where I get to utilise those features. Once I've got things set up, which was pretty much the entire trouble with it was internet connectivity. Once I got everything set up, everything started running smoothly. Everything seems to work just fine. You know, again, slight bumps, but after a while they started working again. And people said the left Joy-Con as well, there's been connectivity issues. Haven't had a single connectivity issue with the left Joy-Con. Yeah, and that's pretty much all I've got to say. I guess anything else? The game cases are also tiny. They're the PSP ones, which I think is pretty neat. I mean, they're from Nintendo. And I like how Nintendo are going with a red colour scheme again. It means Nintendo red, Sony blue, and Xbox One green. Nice little colour separation. Anyway, that's my first impressions of the Nintendo Switch. I hope you enjoyed this emergency cheat time, and cheerio!